All right, so the movie kicks off with this group of 6 friends out at some creepy, deserted slaughterhouse trying to shoot their own horror movie. A sheriff and her deputy, Dave, roll up to see what's going on, but they're just kids, so they leave them to it. Later, everyone leaves except for this one couple who decides to stick around and, have some fun. The guy wanders over to a cabin and starts poking at a bunch of pigs with a stick, which is a super dumb idea. The pigs start freaking out, and then this dude comes out of nowhere making these weird pig noises, and before they can even react, whirr, he revs up this cutter and just lops the guy's head off, like clean off. The girlfriend totally loses it, screaming and running, but the pig man corners her, swings his blade, and takes her head off too. So it turns out the killer is this guy Buddy, who's the son of the old man who owns the place, Lester. Lester's slaughterhouse went out of business because he's old school, and everyone buys processed meat now from his competitor Tom. Tom used to work for Lester, but now he's a big shot and wants to buy Lester's land. And Buddy? Lester basically raised him in the slaughterhouse with the pigs, so the dude is totally messed up. He grunts and snorts like a pig, the whole deal. He only killed that couple because they were messing with his pigs. The next morning, Tom shows up with the sheriff to try and force Lester to sell. Tom offers him 55 grand and a job. Lester's like, no way. The sheriff tells him he hasn't paid his taxes anyway, and the place is getting auctioned off next month. Whatever. Lester goes inside his slaughterhouse, but Buddy tries to stop him, which is weird. Lester pushes past him and just stops dead. Buddy has the 2 dead kids strung up like pigs. Lester starts screaming at him, "What did you do?" Buddy gets all mad and looks like he's about to kill his own dad, but then he just stops. But then, and this is super twisted, Lester's anger just flips and he starts praising Buddy. He's like, "Hey, those are some nice cuts you made on those bodies." Buddy gets all happy and Lester gets this evil idea. He tells his son, "I need you to make 3 more cuts just like that, on Tom, the sheriff, and their buddy." So Lester calls Tom and pretends he's ready to sell. Meanwhile, the other 4 friends from the beginning decide the slaughterhouse is the perfect place to keep shooting their movie. What a terrible idea. Okay, so now the deputy, Dave, gets a report about the missing couple. He heads back to the slaughterhouse to investigate and finds the 4 friends filming. He doesn't see anything weird because Buddy hid the bodies. A little later, Dave goes back inside to look around and sees blood dripping. He looks up and there's a dead cat hanging there because, you guessed it, it was bothering Buddy's pigs. He knows the killer is still around. He pulls his gun, but then Buddy jumps him and hacks his hand clean off. Dave just bleeds out and dies right there. Next, the mutual friend of Lester and Tom shows up to talk about the deal. Lester and Buddy have a surprise for him. They've decorated the whole place with the dead bodies. The guy's terrified, but before he can run, Buddy drops down from the ceiling, grabs him, and just crushes his face with his bare hands. Buddy's still not done. He rips the dead cop's uniform off, somehow squeezes into it, and just takes off in the cop car. He's even answering the radio with pig grunts. It's insane. On the road, Dave's girlfriend sees the car and pulls over, thinking it's him. She sees Buddy, freaks out, and tries to drive away, but he smashes her car with a rock, drags her out, and slices her throat. Finally, Tom, the main target, arrives at the slaughterhouse. Buddy's got something special for him. He shoves him into the meat grinder and turns him into a big pile of mince. That night, there's this huge storm, and the 4 friends think it's the perfect spooky atmosphere to go back to the slaughterhouse. Again! They even dare one of the girls, Sally, to stay inside alone for an hour. While she's in there, the 2 guys put on masks to go scare her, but as one of them peeks in the window, Buddy comes up from behind and slices him in half. Sally runs for her life, but Lester grabs her. Then Buddy goes and kills the other guy. Lester finishes off Sally, and now only one friend is left. She goes inside looking for them and finds all their bodies hanging up. The sheriff gets all these missing person reports, the couple, her deputy Dave, Tom, and it all points to Lester. She calls for backup and heads to the slaughterhouse. She finds her daughter, the last survivor, being tortured by Lester and Buddy. The sheriff makes a noise, creating a distraction, and her daughter escapes. Buddy chases her, but the sheriff starts shooting, and he runs back inside. The plan is for the daughter to run while the sheriff holds him off. But Lester sneaks up and stabs the sheriff in the back. The daughter grabs her dad's gun and shoots Lester. She sees her dad is still alive and drags him to the car. She's about to get away, but then Lester, who she thought was dead, pops up in front of the car. She doesn't hesitate, she floors it and runs him right over, crushing his head. They think they're finally safe. But, and this is the final gut punch, it was all for nothing. Buddy, the pig man, was hiding in the back of their car the whole time. He just pops up and kills her. And boom, that's the end of the movie. Total downer.